let's queer up South Florida and Florida. PrideFête celebrates LGBTQ plus Caribbean pride in Florida based on diversity and inclusion. In today's Queer News Tonight PrideFête special edition, we are joined by anchors who are in one way or another connected to the LGBTQ plus Caribbean prides in South Florida. Wilton Manors is getting ready to celebrate PrideFête, an LGBTQ plus Caribbean festival that honors the music, food, and spirit of the Caribbean culture in a safe space for the LGBT community and their allies. The festival is organized in partnership with Hotspots, happening out, and Pride Fort Lauderdale, with the City of Wilton Manors as a partner. On the occasion of the event, the intersections of Caribbean queer people coming to South Florida to live their life, culture, and values they stand by. Intersectionality is the recognition that everyone has their own unique experience of discrimination and oppression. By taking into account people's overlapping identities in terms of gender, race, class, sexual orientation, physical ability, and more, we can better understand the complex prejudice they face. According to the Rainbow Railroad, over 40% of all calls around the world for help escaping a homophobic or transphobic country come from the Caribbean. Point Community College scholar Akaysha Garvey is helping and advocating for such immigrants. Garvey is a Black transgender first-generation immigration student in Florida. PrideFête helps focus all of these issues and celebrate the diversity of the community and our LGBTQ plus community. PrideFête Festival begins on Saturday, August 12th, and brings us a month of fun and diverse Caribbean events, from pre- and post-parties to gallery exhibits, television shows, and more. It is a must-attend celebration of inclusion and love, something we all need right now. This is so...
Let me see you raise your hands and put them in the air. Put them in the air. High, high. Let me see you raise your hands and put them in the air. Put them in the air.
So right, diversity, inclusion, and inclusion is so big in our community, but you add the Caribbean community to that and it just makes it that much bigger. You know, like the diversity amongst the Caribbean community. It's not like the British or Irish where it's just one set culture. You know, there's just so many cultures, and it makes it that much greater to understand and realize that we're a melting pot, right?
Yeah. 100% agreed. It's amazing. And it's honestly one of the things I love about Pride as a whole, is that it's so much about inclusion and diversity in our community. And then PrideFête, I'm like, yay, I get to be Caribbean and queer all in one space.
Yep.
It's great. And just to have that opportunity, especially when certain people don't want that in our state,
And let's be honest, you know, like within our community, the LGBTQ plus community, we have that diversity that exists, but sometimes that marginalization still arises and still is prevalent. You know, like the Caribbean community doesn't have a collective, cohesive whole that you see with the LGBTQ plus community. Wouldn't you agree?
Completely. That's why we have this event, to celebrate all of that. You know, we have it to celebrate ourselves, those who maybe can't come out, never got a chance to come out, and for all the progress that we're making. So I think all of what you said is valid, and I always look forward to seeing who's going to come out as Caribbean. You know, I've said this before, like people we've known in the Caribbean for years, we've been at their events, we've been to their parties, but we don't know their heritage, their cultural background. This is their opportunity where they're like, okay, hey, guess what, y'all? I'm Bahamian. So,
and that's such an interesting point you make, because, like, for instance, Richard, you're Jamaican and your patois accent, your Jamaican accent comes out here and there. But for us, you know, Kashai, you're Jamaican, Saborni, Bahamian, me, Haitian, and Trinidadian, but we don't necessarily have the cultural accent to back it up, you know? So we're kind of in the stealth of being Caribbean, until we could actually like wave our flag and say, you know, we are those Caribbean individuals. And I just named a mixing pot of us right here, you know, 2 of us Jamaican, 1 Bahamian, 1 Haitian and Trinidadian. That's just a small portion of the diversity that exists, you know? So to have that in our community and then get to celebrate it is just amazing, because normally in these traditional environments of the Caribbean community, you don't get that mix of LGBTQ plus, right? So it's cool that we have the moment to really not only express ourselves as Caribbean individuals living within the gay community, but gay individuals living within the Caribbean community.
Also getting to support one another.
Right.
Yes.
Not done a lot in, you know, Caribbean countries.
Right. Right. And what's awesome is just to see us be able to embrace each other in a safe space that normally you wouldn't see in areas. And it just, I love it so much that we have that. And it's really awesome, you know?
Hotspots Media Happening Out Television Network presents PrideFête, an LGBTQ plus Caribbean Pride Festival on Saturday, August 12th at Wilton Manors, Richardson Park, on Wilton Drive.
Join more than 1,000 guests as we celebrate Caribbean queer culture and with live entertainment, exotic costumes in the spirit of Carnival, unique foods, and so much more.
PrideFete is presented by the generosity of Black, Spark, and AHF.
PrideFête celebrates the diversity of 33 Caribbean nations that are as diverse as our LGBTQ plus Caribbean community, the community, honey.
PrideFête will be from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. with dynamic and fun pre- and post-parties.
General admission and VIP experience tickets and more available at pridefete.lgbt.
Welcome to PrideFête!
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ plus evening news show, brought to you from Happening Out Television Network. We operate in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ plus community. We educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ plus community, with more than 100,000 a week watching us on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the story going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.